Aberdeen suffered their fifth away league defeat of this season after going down 2-1 to Livingston last night. This is what it meant for the table. Now, there are a host of games going on at the moment, so this table could change. So this table is before tonight's games kicked off. It basically means we stay in third position. Livingston went level points with us. Rangers and Hearts are playing currently. The best that we can hope for there would quite obviously be a draw. Here's your match stats from the game last night, and it does not make for good reading. So Aberdeen now only have 3 wins from their last 28 away league games. And this was Aberdeen's 6th defeat of this league campaign, with 5 of those coming away from home. The attendance last night at the Tony Macaroni Arena was 4,276. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very warm welcome to this review show here on Alibeg ABTV this Wednesday evening. Oh dear, here we go again. Isn't this a sense of deja vu? Honestly, it's baffling. I continue to use the word baffling because I have no other word to describe our away performances. Oh my goodness. Please feel free to get in touch tonight because I am so intrigued to read your comments, which will come out on the show tonight. Because last night, so many of you, and I put this out on my social media channels earlier, you predicted quite correctly about your concerns about last night's game and how potentially it could have been a banana skin. And all of your comments where you said you were concerned was at the back. And again, it happened last night. So we will get to your comments. On a positive note, I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome to the show for the very first time the king of the beach end, Joe Harper. So Joe and I jumped on a Zoom call earlier today. He was on his iPhone, so it doesn't look visually very cool, but you still get to see Joe. And Joe gave me his thoughts on last night's game, and I'm going to be meeting him and Frank McDougall in the Station Hotel in Aberdeen on Friday night, and we spoke a little bit about that event as well. Just while you guys are here, let's have a quick look and see if there have been any goals anywhere. So Dundee United have taken the lead against Kilmarnock, Celtic have taken the lead against Motherwell, and at Ibrox it is 0-0 as it is in Paisley between St Mirren and St Johnstone. So let me give you a couple of thoughts, and I'm going to throw this one out to you guys. Playing 3 at the back. So I was all for it after the Motherwell game because I thought it absolutely worked a treat. Then we saw the Rangers disaster and I was like, okay. We played it again against Hibs at Pittodrie. For me, it worked fine. Second half was much better. But last night, again, I have to be honest, I don't think it worked. And I'm starting to think maybe we ditch it and maybe go back to 4-2-3-1 away from home. Now, I know that the manager has said that that means that he can't accommodate Duke and Majowski playing together up front. That might have to be a sacrifice because I talked about Majowski yesterday in the preview show and I was concerned about his form away from Pittodrie. And again, last night, I think it proved a point. And I'm a little bit concerned about why he's not quite found his feet away from Pittodrie and why it's not quite going for him away from Pittodrie. When he missed the penalty last night, which came at an awful time, obviously the last kick of the first half, the cameras were on him and he just looked broken. And that's the first time that I've really seen him be like that. And I think it slightly affected his second half performance as well. Let me know what you think about it. There was a lot of talk about our defending last night, and quite rightly so. Obviously, we missed a host of chances at the other end. The amount of shots that we had on goal and didn't convert is worrying. Now, let's take away the VAR penalty. There's nothing we can do about that. But the opening goal, so I've watched it back a few times today to see if I can find anything. And when the corner is taken, so Connor Barron, he's the player that goes immediately with the boy to the front stick. I can't fault Connor because he busts a gut to get there. It's just unfortunate that the ball flips up and then it just sort of bounces around a little bit, doesn't it? Where I'm really disappointed is that, for me, Ross McCrory does not do enough to close down the boy who scored. I think he should have done so much more to try and block that shot, and I don't think he did. Now, we talk about laying bodies online and all that sort of stuff, and unfortunately, we are now at a stage where the guys at the back have got to stand up and be counted, because there are too many mistakes. We are left wide open too many times. We are ball watching too many times, and it has to be addressed. And it now has to be addressed during this World Cup break, because unfortunately, it's just not good enough. And we're not starting games well enough away from Pittodrie. And the only way that I think to start getting in and about people away from home is we have to start strongly. And I just don't know why we haven't been able to do it, apart from the odd game here or there. So, if you think I'm speaking nonsense, which I probably am, just get in touch and let me know what you think. Let's get the manager's thoughts. This is what he said after the game. So it isn't a night to be apologising for anything other than that first 20 minutes, because after that, second half especially, we were excellent. I have to say, I thought we were excellent in the second half yesterday. Can't take anything away from the boys for that. Jim goes on to say, we just couldn't quite claw it back. If we can play like that for 90 minutes instead of 60 or 70, then we'll give ourselves a far better chance of winning games. And I have to be honest, he's right. The second half was a hugely improved performance on the first, because again, I'm watching it, sitting at home, doing the ironing, scratching my head again, and it's just becoming annoying. So, get in touch, let me know what you think. Joe Harper's coming up. I would like to show you something from a chap called Paul Donaldson, and I was absolutely delighted that Paul sent me a video last night giving me his thoughts about the game. He went to the game last night, and I've been requesting these videos from you for quite a while now. Obviously, don't feel obliged, but it's fantastic when you do them for me, just telling me your own thoughts, whether you're at the game or not, and I will put them on, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's all about content, it's all about the fans, it's all about opinions. Here's what Paul had to say just before he jumped in the car to go home.
Hi Ali, Paul Donaldson here, just outside the Tony Macaroni Arena after seeing a 2-1 defeat to Livingston. So really it was a game of two halves. I thought we were really quite poor in the first half. Second half much better, but 3 penalties tonight, all decided on VAR. Didn't really see what happened for the Livingston penalty that they got. Then our penalty that we got on VAR, I think nobody really knew what was going on and wasn't sure which end it was being awarded at, but we got the penalty. Miofsky missed it, unfortunately, and it kind of just about summed our first half up. Second half we were much better, had a lot of pressure. We got another penalty, VAR. Duke put it away, and I thought Duke played really well tonight. He had a couple of really good chances. He had one that was cleared off the line, one that just went over. We threw everything but the kitchen sink at it towards the end, bringing on Ramirez and Marley Watkins, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. I think if we'd had another 10 minutes, we probably would have scored a goal and at least get a draw out of it, but no luck. We'll just have to put that behind us and hopefully we can get a win at home on Saturday against United. So good luck for Friday. I hope your event with Joe Harper and Frank McDougall goes well. Cheers, Ali. See you later. Bye.
There we are, Paul Donaldson. So that gives you an idea of what I'm trying to do here on the channel for preview shows and review shows, but particularly for the review show. So if you have been to a game and you want to vent your frustration or get something off your chest or want to gloat and have fun and just want to get your points across, just do it. Just make me a small video, send it to me, and I will get it on. Let's have a quick look at the updated scores. So Dundee United are now 2-0 up against Kilmarnock. Celtic are still leading Motherwell by 1-0, and there's still no goals between Rangers and Hearts and St Mirren and St Johnstone. Right, bear with me while I get your comments up here. Oops, sorry. You don't want to be hearing that. Okay. John Bleasdale. Hi, John. How are you? I hope Jim Goodwin and his recruitment staff use the World Cup break wisely to identify players who can solve the centre-back and right-back issues. We can't keep making the same mistakes if we're going to finish third. I agree. Rob A. Clark. I called him Rob C. Clark last night. I'm so sorry, Rob. Rob A. Clark has come on and said, thanks for the shout out as a subscriber. I will get to that in just a moment. Rob has become an Ali Beg ABTV contributor. Absolutely thrilled that he's come on board. The away form. I'm really worried. We need to get the checkbook out. We so do. Scott W. Hi, Scott. Last night was a far better performance from the team. There's obviously a mental block away from home where the players perhaps just feel they can't win. A few wins away and that will be sorted. He goes on to say, on another night, we could have walked away with an easy 3 points. We created chances. Duke had his effort cleared off the line. He had his other chance, which he knocked just over. I cannot fault our second half performance yesterday at all. John Bleasdale has come back on and said he's also not convinced by 3 at the back. We're a better team with 2 wingers in front on the full backs. Kennedy looked good when he came on, and Vinny is a talent that's wasted on the bench. Derek Griffiths. Hi, Derek. Shocking start last night. We have all said the defence needs sorting. When is this going to happen? Miovski has lost a bit of confidence. Hopefully he can get it back against United. Erica Mitchell. Hi, Erica. She said, good evening to everybody. I can't believe Miovski missed a penalty last night. Not like him at all. Hope our away form can turn around after the World Cup. I'm going to chuck a spanner in here, Erica. He didn't miss it. The goalkeeper saved it. And I think there's a big difference there. Don't you think he should have done better with the rebound? Just going to throw that out to you. Joe Harper. Legend of our football club, all-time leading goal scorer. I was so happy to have welcomed Joe to the show earlier today. 300 appearances for Aberdeen over 2 spells, 199 goals officially, but if you speak to historians and local journalists, they will tell you that Joe scored well over 200 football goals for the club. So today I caught up with Joe just after he came off the golf course and we spoke about the Livingston game and the event that we're both attending on Friday night in Aberdeen. Here is the legend that is Joe Harper. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on. By the way, do I call you Joe or do I call you Your Royal Highness?
I prefer Joey. I'll tell you why. Because when I came up to Aberdeen at first, they did a survey after a year, and they found out for the most common name in Aberdeen was Joey, because there's 20,000 budgies called Joey.
No way.
No, I'm telling you a lie. I'm only making a story up. No.
Thanks for jumping on. It's great to see you. We'll be talking about the event that we're doing together in the Station Hotel on Friday night with Frank McDougall. We'll come to that in just a moment. But I would just like to gather your thoughts so far on what you think of Jim Goodwin's Aberdeen, and particularly last night, because again, Joe, so frustrating. A game of two halves, and what is going on? What was your opinion on last night?
Well, certainly the first half has been common in away games. We haven't been starting the game the way we should be. Can I just say at this particular moment, our defenders are not defenders who can stick the ball about at the back. Our goalkeeper doesn't want it. We pass it about 6 yards, 10 yards here, there, but and then eventually it goes back to our goalkeeper and he just whacks the ball out of the park. Now, when you talk about playing the game up high and stuff like that, I always thought that the best way of doing that was get your forwards up as far as they can go, get your midfield up behind them, ready to get the second ball, and get your defence right up behind them. So if they don't get it, the defenders will get it. Now, that's always been my outlook in football. It's different if you're Manchester City, if you're Liverpool, if you're Barcelona, whoever, these top teams, they can stick the ball about, they've got better players, their first touch is better. That's okay if that's the way they want to play it. But we are not a team like that yet. We haven't got the players to do that yet. And inevitably, it normally goes to our centre half, Stuart, and he lumps it up at the park. But by that time, he's under pressure because of people, closing him down and stuff like that. So, it doesn't work for us. Why not just play a simple game? Let's get it up. But as we did, we actually started to do it. Playing the ball, getting the ball at the back and just playing it up into the inside right and inside left positions and get people challenging for it. And we started to get a bit of good stuff out of it. Lots of touches, and we're closing them down a bit quicker. The second half, was entirely different. We started closing them down right from the beginning of the second half. We're a lot faster. We're moving the ball about a lot faster. Rather than taking 30 seconds to 45 seconds at the back, playing about with it, they were getting out of the park. And we had people who've got pace, Duke especially, and people with ability. They could hold it when they got it in the wing positions. And the whole game changed. It was our second half. We bullied them. First half we got bullied as well, by the way. But the second half we started bullying them. And we were the top team, and we're dare I say it, a bit unlucky that we didn't get 3 points. Never mind 1 point.
Yeah, I'm quite intrigued to know, Joe. Do you think, particularly away from Pittodrie, are we too soft?
Yeah, absolutely. We're letting them kick us. We don't have a big team. We're not. Most of these teams now, they've all got guys 6'2", build a proverbial brick house, and and they're going about messing us about. Last night we started to mess them about in the second half, and it worked. We started getting the good bit. They started kicking the ball out of the park and things like that. Just skating the ball anywhere. So it shows that it works. And the thing about it, Ali, is that we've been doing it at home. Every game that we've played at home, apart from maybe the Hibs game last week, which we got a good result of, we've been really into their faces all the time. There's the high work rate, up and down the park, chasing things. If one man doesn't get a tackle in, the other guy's behind him gets a tackle in. That sort of thing. And we're doing it well. And that's why we've been getting so many good goals, 4 or 5 goals, things like that, because we've been doing that well at home, especially at home. But we don't do it so much away from home until the second half last night.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
That is not good enough. You've got to start from the first minute chasing. That's why we've got 5 substitutes. Somebody's tired, you can take them off like we started doing last night. Jim did the exact right thing last night, taking defenders off and, putting midfield players and forwards on to try and get a result. We nearly did.
Do you know, we are so Jekyll and Hyde. It's almost guaranteed on Saturday against Dundee United before the World Cup break that we will absolutely smash them at Pittodrie. You watch.
I hope so. I hope so.
So do
We've got
I.
we've got a favour to do to them. You can't go down to Tannadice and get beat the way we get beat down there. It was embarrassing. But we will go. We will go out on Saturday, and you will see the change. And if players, a lot of guys are, disenchanted with our defence, and quite rightly so, because we don't pick men up. We ball watch a lot. We watch the ball where it is. We don't watch where our strikers are, or whatever, or where their strikers are, and we lose goals through it. And we've got to tighten that up. Really, Ross McCrory is wasted as a fullback.
Great.
He's not so bad as a centre half. He's a good right back, but he's not bad as a centre half as well. But he's a midfield player. Ross has got an engine. He can go up, down, tackle, shoot, everything. So we've got to get the defence. So I'm sure come the window, we'll be looking to get another defender at least.
Yeah.
Because they definitely need it.
Yeah.
Someone who's got a bit of experience, maybe a bit of knowledge about the game. Because just now the defence is running about and they're just chasing shadows. That's as far as I'm concerned. And that's got to stop very quickly.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Okay, so Friday night, so you, myself, and Frank McDougall will be in the Station Hotel for what I have no doubt will be a fantastic night. How much are you looking forward to it?
I really am looking forward to it. I've known Frankie for quite a while since I had the pub, and we had some good laughs together. And he's a decent guy, a really decent guy. What a player he was as well. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. And, I'm one, especially want to ask him why he thinks that he would have beat my record after 2 seasons. That's what I want to ask him. How are you going to prove this to me, Frank?
That's my job.
You can do that, absolutely. No, he's a good guy, Frank. He didn't harm anybody. He lost his way a wee bit, when he was here. But he's okay. He's a really good guy, and I like him a lot. And I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
I'm going to tease it a little bit, Joe, because this is one of the questions that I've already got in my mind to ask you both. So while we're on, I thought I would take the opportunity to ask you, how prolific do you think you guys would have been if you two had played together?
It's one of these questions you're never going to get a real answer to.
Would you play in front of him or would you play behind him? Would you play in front of him or would you play behind him?
I'd play around him, up and down. I didn't. If we get corner kicks, and Eddie Turnbull said to me, and I went back for a corner kick to our goal, Eddie Turnbull would slap me in the face and kick my backside and get me out of the park. Because he says, I've got you to score goals. Now, the problem with me and Frank is we're similar types of player. We play in the box. We've got the ability to hit 30 yarders, but mostly our game, where we got all our goals, was in the box, and it was sniffing out chances. So we'd be sniffing the same chances. It's a certainty. Probably getting each other's way. That's the only thing. You need to do it. I don't know how you could do it. It could work. But as I say, I used to look at my players round about me and wonder and know. I had to know. I knew them by talking in the dressing room and that, what their game was. For Stuart Kennedy, for instance, Stuart got past the halfway line. I just looked for Stuart to go another 20 yards, and as soon as he hit the edge of the box, I would start to make my run. But depending how Stuart hit the box, depending where I made my run. If Stuart, yourself, when Stuart hit the ball, when Stuart ran, he ran straight as a die to the byline. Well, when you get to the byline, to cross it then, and you're running straight, is very, very difficult. So Stuart would probably only hit the near post or at best the middle, not the back post. So as he's running down, I'm going to the back, I'm dragging it centre half away all the time. And then at the right time, just making that run and anticipating the ball coming over. And it worked. Henning Ball was different. Henning Ball was great. He could go so far, and then he started coming in at an angle. So you knew that Henning was capable of hitting good balls to far post. So I used to go near post and then run out and go back post, and we'd me and Drew Jarvie and Stevie Archibald would interchange, I'm sure it would have been worked. I'm sure it would have worked great, but I'm not saying we would have scored that many goals. We would have scored more goals. We would probably scored the same goals. That's what I'm saying. We'd be in the same positions at the same time, maybe getting each other's way.
Joe, thank you for jumping on. Brilliant. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Friday night. So enjoy the rest of your day, and can't wait to catch up on Friday.
Okay, pal.
The magnificent Joe Harper. I am so looking forward to Friday night. So I'm heading over tomorrow, and then we will be in the Station Hotel on Friday with Frank McDougall. There are still tickets available if you fancy it. To find out more, just go onto my official Facebook page and you just scroll down past some of the stuff and you'll come to the link. So if you do want to come along, I think it'll be really, really good fun. And the fact that Frank will be there as well has just added to the occasion, because obviously going through what he's going through at the moment. So I can't wait to get over. Just to let you know that this will probably be the last review show until after the World Cup, because and it's doubtful that I'll be able to bring you a preview show ahead of the Dundee United game, because I will be working for North Sound in the build-up to that game on Saturday from Pittodrie, and I just don't think I've got the time to be able to put anything together for you ahead of that game, so please forgive me. But the plan during the World Cup is to still continue to get content out. Going to be making shows on a weekly basis. Got lots of really good interviews lined up, new interviews for you as well. So there will still be plenty of content coming your way. So any more comments come in? No, nothing as yet. So guys, thank you again for watching tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and I will see you probably the first week of the World Cup, when I'm going to try and get a brand new Beg to Differ out. So just keep an eye on my social media channels as normal. So enjoy the World Cup. Thank you for all your support up to this stage, and I will see you again very soon. And if you're at Pittodrie on Saturday, I'll be up in the press box. If you're in that part of the stadium, just come over and say hello, because I'd love to meet you guys. I always like to say hello. So see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.